I mean, we could also ask this, like, would you, just to go around the panel really quick, do you want, who's in school right now? Is it the ballet thing, or are you also taking
I'm also a college student.
Yeah, so let's say when you want to get your bachelor's degree, would you want to date a guy that has at least attained your level of education or higher?
I don't think education matters to me as much because you can do so much without a degree. Even the career that I want to go into, I can do without my degree. So education doesn't bother me. I do think like the person I choose to be with has to have some sort of ambition or drive to want to do something with their lives. Doesn't matter what, but they have to want to do something with their lives.
Sure. Anybody else on the college thing?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters for education because, like, my parents, they don't have, like, a college degree at all, but they still found each other. And, I mean, they're not together, but I don't even know why. But a lot of people don't do college or education because they don't have the money for it. And so if they just, like, work or, like, something, like a hobby, then I'll be fine with them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely spoken to women who would take issue with a guy who has attained a lower level of education than they have. So I don't know. But I don't know how we got onto my long list. By the way, this list is like more of a, some of these like for sure I definitely want, but this was more so like, because I was going to compare it to some of the standards that women have for men. And maybe I can go through a few of what I think are some of the preferences, standards, or boundaries that women have for men. And we can also just sort of compare. And it's also an exhaustive, quite a long list too. So women want a guy who's tall, not balding. We'll start with physical stuff and then move into more personality stuff. Tall, not balding, full head of hair, muscular, fit, strong, didn't skip leg day, nice forearms, wide shoulders, six-pack abs, large peen, clean shaven, or some women have a preference for a guy who has a mustache or beard. But I think majority it's clean shaven. Dresses nicely, who can protect her, who can provide, who's confident, masculine, a leader, dominant, ambitious, successful, financially well off, matches or exceeds her income, matches or exceeds her level of education, matches or exceeds her socioeconomically, chivalrous, pays for dates, decisive, leader, charming, witty, can carry a conversation, good communicator, treats you like a queen, whatever that means, even though you're a court jester at best, funny, exciting, tells good stories, intelligent, competent, handy, doesn't live with his parents. Eric, just doesn't live with his parents, doesn't play video games, doesn't watch porn, doesn't have a photo of him holding a fish.
Oh.
Apparently that's a thing. Can fix things, stoic, sexually experienced, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the one I gave previously, I was just sort of generally outlining some of the standards or preferences men have in women, and I believe these are some of the standards or preferences women have in men. I don't think women necessarily want or can even secure all these things in men, but broadly speaking, I think both of those things are what women and men want.
I disagree.
On what? Okay, so you don't want a tall guy? How tall are you?
I'm 5'5". The
Okay.
guy I'm talking to right now is 5'8".
He's taller than you. Would you
Yeah.
date a guy who's smaller than you or shorter than you? Would you date a guy who's physically smaller than you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Tall. Would you want to date a guy who's tall?
Well, I'm like 5 feet, so I don't think I'm gonna meet a guy shorter than 5 foot.
Let's say you did. Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
Maybe if they're cool, I'd go on a date with them. Potentially.
Do you have a height preference? You don't have any height preference.
I mean, most guys are just like taller than me because I'm so short, but
Well, it happens to be the case, right? That they're taller
so
than
it
you.
just so happens that, yeah, I guess it's just happened that way. But do I have
You would have no issue. If you had to think about like ideal partner, height isn't even a factor. He could be 4'11", but he could be your ideal partner.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Where are the 4'11" kings? I don't know.
There you go. Height. How tall was your last boy? Well, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
I prefer, I guess, taller guys who are taller than me.
Sure.
I'm 5'6".
Okay.
I'm the same.
Prefer guys who are taller than you?
Yeah.
Taller, yeah.
Okay, how tall are you?
5'3".
Okay, what's your like height cutoff? Do you want 6 feet?
5'9" and up is good.
Okay, and what about for you?
5'10", just because I like
Okay.
to wear heels.
Sure. Okay, so that was just one. That was the tall thing. So you said you disagreed with a lot of these, though.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can disagree with me on some of my preferences that I believe women have in men. I think some of you already disagreed a little bit on the preferences that I believe men have in women. But go ahead. Did you want to come in on anything else?
No.
Okay. Luke, did you want to come in on
Yeah,
anything?
I'd like to add something.
Sure.
I think that like getting into the door, like talking to a woman, I think it's higher demanded that, you know, you do have a higher income. Like if some dude walked up to you guys and he was wearing some like nasty clothes, probably old, didn't smell really good, like that's not like an attractive like individual.
But making less money than someone else
Doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean
you
you're
look like
stinky and gross.
No,
like, that's
but
not.
it means that you can't show yourself off as well as someone with a higher income. Like because
like would I date a homeless person? Likely
that's not what I'm saying.
But
I'm saying like if a guy works a McDonald's job, he's not going to be driving like Mercedes-Benz around. But if a really attractive dude pulled up in a Mercedes-Benz, like with nice clothes on, expensive, I feel like a lot of women, at least 80%, would go for the guy in the Benz, even if it was the same person. If it was the exact same person and some dude walked up in some like baggy jeans, didn't look very good, but like, you know, his body and his face the exact same, but outfit-wise, appearance-wise, was just a little bit on the lower income side versus the same guy driving up in a Urus or something. Like it could even be like the most basic high-end car, so like a BMW or something. That's gonna get chosen a lot more than the guy that's doesn't have as good of an outlook of himself, like appearance. And that's shown only through monetary value, because he can show off, hey, I'm successful, I make a lot of money, you know, I'm succeeding in life. A woman's gonna go and choose him over the guy that's like kind of down on his luck or doesn't have a very good job, because it's more stable. There's more stability in the guy that has like, even if you don't like, you're not going to know him, right? There's more stability going into it, knowing that, hey, I'm going to be financially stable with this person versus having to fight for like, you know, earn a living with this other guy.
I think that does make sense. I think that with respect to cars, I mean, I don't think I've ever based any decision about a guy off of his car, because like you can have a short-term lease on a Mercedes-Benz doesn't mean you're rich.
Yeah.
Also, I just think like looks-wise, having less money, like I've never found the best dressed guys that I've dated. The most handsome guys that I have dated have not ever been the richest guys. Like, it's just like, I don't think there's a correlation there. Like, I understand what you're saying, where you can dress up to impress. So like, yeah, if we were going out to like a 5-star restaurant, then like, I think that's where that delineation, like that would show there, but not if you're just like going on a first date. I would expect a guy to be wearing like a basic outfit. I'd be wearing a basic outfit, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, unless we're going out to like an event kind of thing.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from, but I just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's a hard correlation for me to draw.
Yeah, I'm not talking about, by the way, like the first date. I think first date, you put some thought into your appearance. I'm talking about like walking up to a woman and like saying, hey, you know, I find you really attractive. Is there any way I can get your contact information? I think a guy that's better dressed, who is showing off more wealth and more stability, is going to have a much easier time getting that woman to find him not necessarily more attractive, but more like, more attractive, more optimal to look into a relationship with that person than someone who's, you know, isn't as dressed up. That's what I'm saying with getting through the door. That's the starting point. As soon as you get onto a first date, you know, you're going to dress up as well as you can. You can go and rent out that sport car for a day and show off.